Okay, we'll get started with Kike Hernandez. First question for Kike today. Who wants to start off?
Well, that's easy.
We'll start with Maria up front.
Hi, Kike.
Hi.
I was just asking some of your teammates and Dave, do you guys feel like you're sort of in the Mamba mentality again? Does it feel like last year, or just how does it feel?
I mean, you could say that. I think every postseason teaches you a lot. Every series, whether it's a 5-game or a 7-game, feels like it's a month long. So there's a lot of learning within each series. And for us, I feel like we've gone through a lot together as a group. There's people that were here in 2020. There's people that were here last year. And then there's new guys that have bought in and are all in with the mentality and the goal, the final goal, which is to win a World Series. And I think we're going into today, just like any other day in October, thinking it's a must-win game because that's how we feel about it. And yeah.
Come up front on the left side.
Hey, Kike, you mentioned earlier about just learning lessons. Obviously, each series is different. So what are some of the lessons that you feel like you all have learned, especially having the opportunity to close out this series tonight?
I mean, we've learned that our starting pitching is really good. It's just, it's the experience within, each game. I think we're a battle-tested group that really believes in each other and cares about each other. In the past, we've had maybe some pressure to perform or whatnot, but we've gone through so much as a group that you just know that at the end of the day, things are going to be all right, and we're going to find a way to win. So even if you're not performing, you trust that the guy that comes in behind you is going to get the job done. And as long as we're winning games, nothing else matters. And that's kind of the mentality that we've acquired, and we're going to keep with it.
Let's go to Clinton, second row on the right.
Kike is a guy who is labeled as a utility guy. To see your teammate Mookie doing what he's done to get to the position he's at, what's that like to sort of experience as a teammate in terms of his progress, for lack of a better term? And have you learned anything from the way he's gone about his in terms of how you've done your thing as well?
Honestly, I haven't really learned anything because when we're talking about Mookie Betts, these are things that you expect. And he is such a gifted athlete that he does what he does, and you're like, no, I'm not surprised, I don't think I've seen him be bad at anything when it comes to sports. He's an elite athlete at 4 sports. So, but to be able to go from right field to short and play it at such a high elite level with no experience whatsoever other than, I don't know how many games he played last year, but that's about it. At the most important position in the field, it's still really impressive, and you kind of take it for granted. You see the level that he's played at all year long defensively, and you kind of take it for granted, and you forget that he's kind of new at the position, and you forget how long he played in the outfield. And from a guy that plays everywhere, the game in the outfield is a lot slower than the game in the infield, and that for me, sometimes it's why I was able to, I played infield my entire life, and it wasn't until AAA that I started playing outfield. That to me, playing infield my whole life is why the outfield became easy, because the game is that much slower back there, and you basically play infield back there. But when it's the other way around, I've had times where I played a lot of outfield, and then I haven't played infield in a month, and I got to go back in the infield, and the game feels a lot faster. And for him to be able to do what he's done after all these years, to play a new position like that, and in my opinion, he's got to win the Gold Glove. I don't think anybody was more valuable in that position on the defensive side of things. And it's not a coincidence that his initials are MLB.
Do 2 more. We'll go to JP on the left, and then we'll finish up with Eric in the back right.
Hey, Kike, last year you guys faced somewhat of a long layoff between your last regular season game and the NLDS. in the spirit of learning things, did you guys take anything from what you guys did during that time? How quickly you were able to just bounce back, pick up where you left off, and run all the way to the World Series that could be applied in the future, say, if you have another long layoff coming?
Haven't thought about it. I'll think about it when we get there. For now, we have a game tonight that we're trying to win, and that's all I'm thinking about. I'm not really thinking about what would happen if we win tonight. I'm just thinking about winning tonight.
Eric?
Kike, today after today you're gonna be one behind Justin Turner for most postseason games in Dodgers history. Just wondering, what has it meant to you to be a part of so many of this extended run they've had?
Humbled, fortunate. This is not just any franchise, man. This is the LA Dodgers. They've been around for a long time, and they have a lot of history. And for a guy like me from Puerto Rico, kind of swam against the current my entire life, to be sitting in this position is pretty special. But at the same time, I haven't really wanted to reflect too much on it, because there's going to be a time for that once I'm done playing, and I'm going to have a lot of years to reflect on it. But for now, as cool as that is, and I'm going to take that to the grave with me, I'm just focused on today, and it would be cool if my name is up there with the most Dodger World Series ever, you know. But to be creeping up on, you know, one of playing the most playoff games as a Dodger is something that I never really dreamed of or thought that would happen. So that's something that's pretty special, and I wasn't really aware of it till you just said that. So that's why I'm caught a little off guard. Sorry.
Dave, coming into this season, you guys set the goal of getting back to the World Series. You now find yourselves in a situation in which you're one win away from doing that. When you reflect on kind of this postseason in specific, what you've been seeing and how this group has really come together, how does that prepare you all for this game to hopefully close out this series tonight?
I think, I think it all started certainly in spring training with this year's club. Being prepared for this moment. I think it's kind of what we kind of see the season is, it doesn't matter the circumstance, the situation, we have a certain way of approaching each day. And so, from the first game of the series, first game of the postseason, versus being up 3-0, it doesn't change kind of our outlook on today. We're trying to play good baseball and win a game. When you're winning, you're trailing, we sort of have that same mindset. And so I think that consistency of kind of thinking and preparation, put us in this position. But yeah, we realize that there's a lot of work to do, and those guys aren't going to lay down, and we need to, have Shohei pitch well today and get some timely hitting and, put these guys away.
Kevin, fourth row on the left.
Dave, thanks again for your time. Justin Dean has had a very defined role in this postseason. In fact, you pinch hit from the other day. He didn't get a plate appearance. Why was that? Would you like to see him get a plate appearance? And do you ever reflect back on your experience in 2004 where you played 3 games and didn't get a plate appearance?
Yeah, I had a defined role. He has a defined role. He has a very plus skill set to play center field. And I feel that having him in center field makes our overall outfield defense better. But yeah, I think that if there's a chance to, have him bat, it's probably unlikely, but it's not impossible. But yeah, it's a defined role, and I think that with he just raises the floor for our defense.
Let's go to Barry, second row on the left.
Hey, Doc. The 2 quickies. When you go back to the pressure of repeating, what's more pressurized? Actually winning last year or trying to repeat this year? Is it all the same?
I would say winning last year. I think this is something that can't win the second one until you win the first one. But yeah, we're very focused on winning this year, and I do think that it's still a different ball club. We're trying to win this year, and in totality for the Dodgers, it's back-to-back. We're trying to win this year. So our only concern is winning this year. But, yeah.
And when you go back to spring training and all the injuries, where you didn't know what was going to happen with Kershaw, Ohtani, I mean, everybody was in Sasaki, everybody was kind of in flux, and you had guys in different stages of rehab. For it to all come together at this point, late in the season and into the playoffs, how much of that was by design and how much was it by luck, or was it both?
I would say it's more by design. Luck in the sense of that none of those injuries that you referenced were season-ending. Some were, whether it's Gratterall, whether it's Phillips, other guys that we've had that are season-ending. But I think to those guys specifically, I think it was a situation we had to be cautious, and you have to be willing to take a chance on having guys come back to full health and not pushing them to kind of use them in the regular season more. So I credit, the entire organization for having the depth to overcome it, and the players and the staff and the training staff and all that stuff to kind of allow those players to get healthy at the right time.
Let's go to Bill on the aisle right in the
Hey,
middle.
Doc, what do you say to critics who say you were buying a championship?
There's always critics. I think that we're in a big market. We're expected to win. Our fans expect us to win. I can't speak to what revenue we're bringing in, but our ownership puts it back into players, a big chunk of it, which I know that's the way it should be with all ownership groups. I would argue, I don't want to get too philosophical on ownership, but I do think that, trying to be a competitor, as Mark Walter and our ownership group is, that's what you want. I mean, I would think that that's what sports fans want from everyone, to get the best of their team, and I think we do as good a job as anyone.
Let's go to Fabian in the middle of the left side.
Yeah, Dave, acknowledging that winning this year is of utmost importance, like, if you guys do win, how much thought have you sort of put out into what the historic nature of what you guys have been able to do here, and especially to possibly win 3 titles in 6 seasons, what that would sort of stand all time for what this organization has accomplished?
Honestly, I don't get too far ahead, but pose the question. It's remarkable, could be remarkable. It's a great organization. To kind of be looked at in that vein is amazing. But like I said, we're focused on 25 and let the reflection happen later, because that's what it is once it happens, reflection. So right now we're in the mode of getting the job done, but yeah, it's pretty cool.
Got 2 in the back on the right side, Nobu, and then right behind.
Let's skip. Is Rocky available tonight?
Yes.
He's ready.
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Hi, Dave. In the scenario that you end the series tonight, how would you take almost a week of rest for the next step?
We've had experience with that. I don't know yet. I think that right now we're just focused on tonight, and nothing is guaranteed. We got to play well, and if that happens, I'll get with the coaching staff and we'll figure out the best way to prepare. But right now, I truthfully am just thinking about winning tonight.
Let's do second row on the left side here.
Hey, Dave. 21 years ago today, you made that famous stone base.
Long time ago.
Yeah. You guys are down 0-3. Now you're up 3-0. How much you got to be careful on those one play, one moment, and then things flips up.
Yeah. I mean, it's certainly better to be up 3-0 than down 3-0. Anything's possible. You still got to play out the series. I do think that we have the mind to put these guys away tonight, play our best baseball, don't give them any hope. And, 21 years ago, we found some hope and kept going. But, I definitely don't want history to repeat itself.
Let's go to Clinton, second row.
Dave, Kike said that as a teammate, you can kind of take Mookie Betts for granted because he's so good at everything, so to speak. But now we're in a situation where Derek Jeter is critiquing his jump throws. Just from a strict baseball standpoint, can you talk about the development of when it was, okay, we have to do this versus this guy's definitely the option we want?
Yeah, that's there was we needed it. We flipped Gavin Lux from shortstop to second base, and Mookie was open and willing to help the ball club. And seeing where he's at now, trusting him, in any spot, making that, play in the 6 hole. I marvel at it, and it is easy to take that player for granted. And, you see the way he started the season offensively, and to never make an excuse, to continue to play defense, to grind, and to kind of right his season offensively, remarkable. But I think that's just, it's a lot of talent. It's a high character person. And he's just, there's a reason why he's got 3 rings already and a bunch of hardware.
Let's go back to Kirsten.
Dave, you've talked about learning Shohei Ohtani, the pitcher, this season, and just the compete that he has on the mound. With a guy like him taking the mound tonight in a situation in which you all could close this out, moving on to the World Series, how special is that for him, and just how much, confidence do you have in him being that guy to take the ball today?
Very confident. I think this is his opportunity to make his mark on this series. And so we're going to see his best effort. And so I feel good that he's pitching for us. And there's going to be some serious focus and compete tonight.
Take 2 more, Carrie, and then we'll finish up with
Dave,
Eric.
was there an event, a game, a bus ride, something that really, truly locked this team in with its sense of urgency this season?
I don't know. I do think that, that Baltimore series was a point. I think that we started playing better baseball. But, whether it's me talking to players, them talking, amongst themselves, understanding where the schedule is at, we needed to kind of tighten some things up. And I think the last, from that point in time, I think that overall, I think the win-loss has been really good, and just the quality has been really good at playing baseball. But I don't know if it was any bus ride or team flight or anything.
We'll finish up with Eric on the far right.
Dave, given that Ohtani hasn't pitched since 13 days ago, and it's I think 2 starts in the last 30 days, are there any limitations on him at all, pitching-wise tonight? No
limitations. I expect him to be good. He's built up to, he can throw 7 innings. I think that I feel comfortable if it looks right to getting him, to 100 pitches. So I think that's kind of parameters, soft parameters probably.